Beyond the Fairway podcast, Doug Smith here. I got the most handsome man in golf alongside of me. That's Will Lowery. Dreads just flowing this morning, man. Hold on. Before I get into that, we got to let people know that this is your home for all things swag. We don't just talk about the scores and highlights, although we will here in a minute. We go beyond the fairway to really give you the essence of who people are and bridge this culture gap that golf has presented. But Will, seafoam mist for the pullover color today? Is that correct?
No. It's not seafoam mist. It could be aquarium fish rock green.
I'm gonna let you have that. I'm not even gonna go there.
Bahama water green. Is what
okay, Bahama. Okay, I got it. Well, I see that you out of the hood because your hotel situation looks a hell of a lot safer this go round. You'll see, and people will see what we're talking about when they actually see where you were for our recording of the interview with Alex Thomas.
Yeah. The last hotel, I had a car wash and chicken coop, but ironically, the Wi-Fi was better over there, and I'm in a more nice area. The Wi-Fi ain't really popping right now. So if you see me with a little that's because they don't have a good Wi-Fi. They told me to crank the water up for 20 minutes to get hot. Over at a nice hotel.
Yeah, okay.
That's a true story.
Are you still in D.C. area? Where are you?
I'm in DMV area. I'm out in Maryland, Largo.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, big week last week. Definitely want to shout out Sam Burns winning the Valspar down at Copperhead course at Innisbrook. But I've got something that's we've got to discuss here. Will, Rickie Fowler, Richard Fowler, has accepted a special invitation into the PGA Championship this week. Or not this week, but this year's PGA Championship. But does he deserve it, man? Like, I don't want to hate on Rick. I like Rickie Fowler. I like his game. I like his personality. I like his swag. I like who he is. His wife's dope. But I'm not for Rickie getting this special exemption because I believe there are other players qualified to have this spot. What are your take here,
bro? I got to disagree with you on this one.
Come on, man.
I think the guy put in work. He put in work so he can do things like this. It's work. I mean, I'm sure you got all the stats. I mean, we can go get our Brandon Shamlin on just a little bit, the work that he did put in prior. But my little work that I know that Rickie did, I know we're approaching the same week where he won at previously in 2012 at Quail Hollow, Wells Fargo Championship, and he also finished top 5 at the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow in 2017. So all the stuff you about to say, it could be turned around this week because something about Quail Hollow give you a great feeling. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut and let you get in trouble.
That's fine.
I'm going neutral. I'm doing Doug right now.
Don't you and these neutralities, right? Look, it's not. Look, I love Rickie, but no wins since the 19 Waste Management Phoenix Open. He's got 0 top 10s. He's played 15 events this year, and he's only has 3 top 25s, official world golf ranking of 116. I'm just saying there has to be better resumes out there than Rick's. That's all I'm saying. No offense, Rickie. I'm just talking about on property, the work that you've done, your body of work doesn't warrant an exemption unless you're vying for
his body of work. Hold on, Dougie. His body of work this year may
I said this year. I said this year.
Well, okay.
Not forever. I'm a Rickie Fowler fan. I want to see him in the PGA Championship.
I can't tell.
I just don't understand how, him moonwalking up the wrong way on the official world golf ranking is special enough to get an exemption. That's all I'm saying.
Moonwalking may be a little tough analogy. Maybe tiptoeing in, but moonwalking, that's disrespectful.
Whatever, Will. What you got for this week, man? Get out. Leave me alone.
Man, I want to go back to Sam Burns. I know you kind of just mentioned he won the Innisbrook, but the kid was tough, man. I don't know if you remember Sam. We kind of knew he was going to win. Well, I kind of knew he was going to be tough. I don't know if he's going to win, but he's a tough kid, man. He was with the Honda Classic. One thing that really stood out with Sam Burns that I really appreciated about the kid. In 2018, he was in the Honda Classic, and he got exemption to Honda Classic, but one thing that was noticeable is that he played with Tiger Woods on Sunday. He played with red shirt Tiger Woods and beat him on the day.
He did.
So that's when I knew this kid was tough, and I really appreciate what he did, and congratulations to him, the football player, Sam Burns.
Hey, well, Will, it's about that time. We got to go beyond the fairway with funny man Alex Thomas. Beyond the Fairway podcast, Dougie Fresco here, right here, alongside Will Lowery as always. But we got a special guest this week, man. My man, your man, Mr. Alex Thomas. What's up, Al?
I am chilling, brother. How y'all been?
Man, it's good. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see another brown person in here. I'll tell you that.
It is.
Come on, man.
Hey, I don't want Alex to think he's talking to Sal Masakela right now.
Well, no. I have to say, and it's nothing, no diss to Sal, but you're a tad bit blacker than him. That's all I have to say. I have a feeling you know how to sea walk on the greens, and that you also know a couple of Martin Luther King speeches by heart. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That is all
Alex,
I'm saying.
man, we appreciate you taking this time. But look, we got to get to the essence of golf. You are from South Central LA. You know what it's like.
Raised.
You know what it's like to run home because people want your shoes from you. You know the chain snatching, card pulling culture. So how the hell does a guy from the South Central of LA make it all the way to playing golf with legends and greats, man? How does that even happen?
Okay, first of all, well, how much time do we have? Because that's a 6-hour story.
Hey, we
I
talking,
need
bro.
the cliff notes. We're going to need the cliff notes
We
first.
talking.
No, so long story short, I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. I'm born and raised in South Central LA. I was the only black kid in an all-white private school. I was bused from 69th and Normandy, where the riots started, to Burton Way and Doheny in the middle, smack dab middle of Beverly Hills. Put it this way. By 13, I had been to more bar mitzvahs than barbecues. Okay. I was around so many Jewish kids as a kid that my mother custom made me my own yarmulke. Okay.
Stop it. Come on, man.
She made my yarmulke out of a Crown Royal bag. Okay. Okay. So imagine being around all these little white kids, and I'm pulling up to this private school looking like a little black Jewish pimp. Okay. When I tell you, I was like, Shabbat Shalom, homie. Shabbat Shalom, homie. You feel me? You know what I mean? I got teased my whole life because I was doing things that the black kids weren't doing. Everybody in my neighborhood, you either, you're shooting dice or you gang banging, or you playing basketball, you playing football. Dude, I can swim. Okay. I was reading dictionaries. I'm good friends with my father. I was in the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts. Like, I played golf. I did things that brothers didn't do. So I got teased my whole life. But who knew? Cut to 30 years later, I end up writing on one of the biggest TV shows of all time, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And one reason why Will Smith and I got along so well is kind of like the same way he grew up in Philly was kind of like the same way I grew up in LA. So we had a lot in common. But yeah, man, and he's the one that got me into golf. And the rest was history. People always ask, they're like, yo, so when did you start playing golf? I'm like, the year every black man in America started playing golf. 97, when Tiger won the Masters. Brother, you got to understand, I passed a golf course every single day in the hood, but it wasn't cool. There was nobody to look up to. I mean, I'm a baby. I'm not looking up to the greats, to the Charlie Siffords and the Lee Elders. They weren't cool like Magic and Dusty Baker. They weren't cool like Michael Jordan and you know what I mean? So it just wasn't a thing to do, man. I always wish, I'm like, man, I wish I had started seriously at that early age, because who knows where I would have been in the game of golf. Because right now, it's just for fun. I tell everybody, if I was a golfer, I'd probably be living under the freeway right now if golf was paying my bills. I'm just good enough to beat other comedians. You know what I mean? Right. And the networking is what it's all about. So
you would be good enough to stay at the hotel that Will's in right now, is what you're saying?
I think I'd be a little better than that. He's at the Red Roof Inn. I think I would at least be at the extended stay. You get me?
Well, let me say this. I'm gonna say this. This is true. The roof is really red. That's where I'm at.
I believe you. Is Game or DJ Quick in there with you right now? Is that a blood hotel?
No. I see a lot of blue downstairs, but I'm not gonna go ask no questions.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe there's Crip and blood levels. Like the second floor is where like Snoop and those guys stay. Well, and the Bloods stay maybe in the penthouse. I don't know. I don't know where you're at right now. I
can say this. They were here. They were, somebody was here. Hey, but so I do want to ask a question. Like, kind of going back in the day, you just mentioned about how you got introduced to the game. I kind of want to talk about how you got into the entertainment space. I read that you were a choreographer for the Fly Girls at one of the famous iconic shows in Living Color. So, I kind of want to talk about how did that happen? How did that come about? And how did you go from there to being on stage with a mic.
Hold on, hey Alex, before you answer that, I just want to add to Will's question, because before that, we already know that you was dancing on Soul Train lines. So I got to hear the whole.
I mean, Dan, did you talk to my mama and my daddy? I mean,
Yep.
are y'all kind of like the feds also, because
A little bit.
really all up in my personal business?
We
right
were.
now.
So
we got NBC behind us. We good.
But my thing is, hold on. So was like your idol? Was your idol like Fred Astaire and Grace Kelly? Like how the hell did you go from there to there? Tell me.
Well, now I got to explain. Now that you put me out there like that, okay? I'm gonna make it crystal clear. I'm gonna make it crystal clear to y'all. I was what was called I was hood famous growing up in South Central LA. So even though I went to that private school, I was a straight dancer. And when I say dancer, you gotta justify yourself nowadays when you say dancer. And so people don't think, Alvin Ailey jumping off buildings and landing in the splits. No, I'm talking straight hip hop, pop locking, breakdancing. And at that time in the 80s, early 90s, it didn't get no bigger than Soul Train. I don't care whether you were Michael Jackson, Run DMC, Tony, or NWA, you had to go on Soul Train, right? So not only is every black person in America watching, everybody in my hood is watching, and I went down the Soul Train line every single week. So I was kind of, I'm not even exaggerating when I say I was famous. I was signing autographs in dice games, in my neighborhood. Because like, oh, that's homie from Soul Train, right? So I'm going down the line. Long story short, this is from 15 to 20 years old. This is like a year or two before I started doing stand-up, right? So I became best friends with Rosie Perez. Rosie Perez was the star of Soul Train. She was the sexiest, hottest chick in the history of Soul Train. I became her little understudy. She was like, I'm famous for it, but you're the dude with all the new dances, and everybody loves your stuff. So long story short, 1991 comes around, she leaves, she starts doing movies, she does Do the Right Thing, and right when she gets back, she gets a brand new show that's about to be the biggest show in black TV history. It is called In Living Color, and she asked me to be her little assistant with the Fly Girl. So I was the dude just with all the brand new.
You told J-Lo how to move. That's what you're saying.
I was the dude. Put it this way. There was a protocol. Rosie was the star. She's the choreographer. But I'm the one hitting her with the new dance, and she's the one that gets it to them. You get what I'm saying? All of them would always see me. But here's what people were confused. I'm in the dance hall showing everybody new dances, but everybody is dying laughing. So Keenan Ivory Wayans and Damon, the stars of the show, walk in the dance studio one day, try to see what the new moves are. And they're like, what the hell is this dude, a comedian? What? Y'all supposed to be dancing. And Rosie goes, this is the one I was telling you about. This is my friend Alex Thomas. And they,
God, Rosie Perez.
You do comedy? And I was like, no, I don't do comedy. They were like, well, I said, do comedians get paid? And I'll never forget, Damon Wayans had a Jordan sweatsuit on. He pulled $30,000 cash out of one pocket. And then he took another $30,000 out, another $60,000. And before the words make it rain, this dude threw the money on me. It was like, does that answer your question? Because remember, my question was, do comedians get paid? He threw $60,000 cash because he had just left doing like a big show that weekend on the road. 3 weeks later, you guys, 3 weeks later, I started doing stand-up comedy. So dancing was done.
Doug, Rosie Perez, that's when Billy Ho had Rosie Perez. That's Ho? White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, okay, right. Exactly.
Y'all don't remember Billy Ho.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Hey, but, Rosie Perez, my sister wanted to be like Rosie Perez when I was young.
Come on, man. She was an icon and my little best friend.
Man, she was a couple scenes I always watch in that White Man Can't Jump. Great scenes. But however, when you started getting on the microphone, I also saw that your father was a member of one of the iconic groups, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes, it's crazy, man. Growing up in the music business, right? People tend to think, they nothing against these guys, but we can name some famous people right now that their kids didn't end up being legends and icons like them, right? Mm-hmm, sure. Michael Jordan's son, super cool, not a great basketball player. Magic Johnson's son, super cool, not a great basketball player. My daddy, Earth, Wind, and Fire, one of the greatest bands of all time. They put a horn in my mouth from 3 years old to damn near 13, because my dad was the wind of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Him, Verdine, and Maurice started the band. They used to be called the Phoenix Horns. But they tried to push me into music, and it just didn't work. I ended up telling jokes for a living.
That's
So
crazy.
you're not
That's
like
crazy.
Charlie
That's
Woods.
crazy
That's
because
what you're saying.
What'd you say?
I said, so you're not like Charlie Woods, because that little homie can play.
Brother, Charlie Woods can go out on the tour right now and at least shoot a 79.
I don't disagree.
That's crazy.
And 11.
Though.
What is he, 12?
I don't know. I feel like they age so fast when you see him. Like, once I think he was 12. Now he's got to be at least 15.
Well,
so
he
I don't
kind
know
of
how
has the
old.
greatest instructor in the history of the game, kind of like. What'd you say?
I
Argument.
mean, a little bit. If you think Perfect is a good instructor.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, but so when you had the stage part, you had the microphone part. So what did the parents say about you telling jokes? I mean, were they disappointed, or they roll with the punches?
Well, my father understood it because he was an entertainer, right? But my mother is like, okay, so what you gonna do for a job? Because college, all that happened. When I tell you guys the Rosie situation, the Soul Train, all that's the years I should be going to college like all my homies, right? I tried college. I went to college for 20 minutes. It didn't work out. And 20 minutes later, a dude named Will Smith came into my life. And the rest was history. I had only been doing comedy, 6 months, right? Remember I told you, Damon and Keenan said, you should try this stand-up thing, threw the money in my face. I'm like, I don't need to hear no more. I'm about to hit a stage. Man, I hadn't even been doing comedy 6 months. And
You ever bombed?
Huh?
You ever bombed?
Oh, I would be lying through my teeth if I told you I didn't bomb. But bombing is a few different types of bombs. If you want to know what that is.
Hold on. Let me stop you. So I want you to somehow. How can you integrate the different type of bombing versus when a player on a golf course may not have a good performance at his first ever tour event or what have you?
Okay.
Tell me how to recover from that.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. So a player that's playing golf that's having a horrible round. First of all, in golf, pro golf is 4 days, usually, right? Thursday through Sunday.
If you make the cut.
If you make the cut. But everybody, I don't care what you do in life, man, you're gonna have good days and bad days. You hear that from the greatest. Whether you're talking to rest in peace Muhammad Ali or Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan, they'll tell you, hey, man, there's games, shots wasn't dropping. There's days the Tiger would tell you, hey, man, my putter was absent. You know what I mean? Like, you find other ways to compensate. So bombing in stand-up, and I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't a dude that bombed a lot. Okay? I'm going to tell you, the bomb started 6 months in. 6 months, Six months in was the last bomb, whereas a lot of comics is 10 years in and they still bombing. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Y'all follow me?
Yeah.
And there's a difference between bombing and just the joke not working. Okay? It's almost the same thing. I'm going to pertain it back to golf. You can't laugh if Bubba Watson hits a bad shot. You can't, Rory hit that in the water, because guess what? On his worst day, he's better than you. Right? Yeah. So what I mean by that is, that'd be like you being in an audience going, that joke didn't work. But dude, first of all, I'm up here for 30 minutes. And I'm killing for 30 minutes. Okay, one joke probably didn't work, but I still got the standing ovation at the end. You still sat here for 30 minutes and go, yo, that dude is funny as hell. Kind of like the same thing in golf. You can laugh all you want. He made the cut. Okay, let's say he came in 5th. He's a pro. He still made $200,000 this week. He didn't make the $1 million of the winner, but certain things, it's kind of like the same thing. But let me go back to Will, right?
I just want to know if you had them gloves on when you bombed.
How'd you know that? How you know about the gloves?
Damn,
I know
you
really are the feds. Huh?
Yeah, we
those that don't know, Alex Thomas used to wear driving leather gloves when he got on stage early on. So I just want to know if you ever used them for your grip.
That's funny. That's funny. Do you know the reason I did that?
I do, but I want you to let our listeners know.
Okay. Well, my whole reason for wearing gloves in my first 5, 6, 7 years of stand-up was my idol, Eddie Murphy, Raw. You remember Raw?
No, which leather color was Raw? Was it
red or red? He wore the gloves in both.
Delirious was purple. No, I'm just talking about I know about
no,
the
but I'm
colors.
glad you said that. I'm glad you said
Yeah.
that. Exactly. But he wore the gloves in both. And my whole thing was, it's almost like you're a basketball player and you want to play basketball. So you're like, yo, I'm going to wear my socks and my shorts like Jordan. I'm going to wear that one high wristband. It's like, I figured it like this. In the first year, 2, 3, or 4, they're not going to know my name, but they're going to be like, the dude with the gloves was hilarious. It was almost like me figuring out a way, how can these people remember me in some kind of way when I didn't have any credits yet, before I ever did a movie, before I ever did TV shows. But then when things started to happen for me, like, the Def Comedy Jams and the Comic Views and my 1 hour specials, it started sticking. It's just when I got deeper in the game and I'm like, I'm going to switch it up now. I'm not going to wear the gloves anymore.
That's a long-ass way to say no, Alex.
Alex, so hold on. Alex, you just talk about how to be remembered. You know this new thing with this impact performance, player performance, or PIP,
right?
With the
right?
PGA Tour. So what are your thoughts on getting the players, how they can be more remembered and getting this $40 million or what have you? What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, I heard about it, but I didn't hear the details. Can you just briefly give me the detail real quick? Because
Go do that, Doug.
So the PGA Tour announced the Player Impact Program. Long story short, they found $40 million that they're going to give to the top 10 players on the PGA Tour that they deem are growing the game in a positive light using their digital and social footprint.
Right. So basically, use not only your sport but your influence.
Use your influence.
Right.
We don't want to ad spend no more. So let me just give y'all some money to make us look good, in my opinion. I'm just saying.
And make us look, it's another way of the ad folks saying, we're not hip. You are. It's almost like saying, I'm exaggerating, don't take me literal. It's almost like if Rory McIlroy was on TikTok, but the guy that owns the company is a 60-year-old billionaire. He's like, I got the money to give you, but what I don't have is what's cool and what's now and what's hip. So do your thing to make our sport, to make this whole circle hip. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a unique platform. I mean, I don't understand what more money why give these guys more money to do the same thing? I mean, even Justin Thomas is on record saying that, hey, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing, and then if it comes to me, great, but I'm not gonna make an effort to be, to try to get the money. I'm just gonna be myself. And that's my thing. Is like, what are people gonna do? Doug.
You have a great point, because first of all, I'm not being mean when I say this. A lot of these guys in this sport, this sport of golf, they don't have the greatest or the biggest personalities. They're just great at what they do. Correct?
That's fair. That's fair.
Absolutely.
So all you can do is be yourself, right? And I think, I'm just being honest, not trying to bring the race thing in, but I feel like this new generation of white golfers, the guys that grew up on Tiger, the Koepkas, the Rory Mac, Dustin, I could keep going with those guys. This new generation of white kids is fly, is hip.
Fact.
They do want to be cool. It's not, this ain't Duffy Waldorf. This is not Curtis Strange. This is
Duffy Waldorf?
Not Kurt Triplett. Come on,
I'm a real golf fan, dude. I could take it back to the 70s up until now. It is no longer this elitist white cornball dressing type of sport. You know what I always tell people now, and I'm just honest with it. I say golf gear is so fly now. You can leave after the 18th hole and pull up to a cigar bar or a lounge or go to a party, and what you rocked on the golf course today, the only difference is you took the soft spikes off. Like golf gear.
Or you leave them on now.
Or leave them on now. You could be up in the bar with a divot tool next to your Grand Marnier. You know what I mean? It's people like you, Doug. It's people like you, Will. It's people like me, and we know what we're talking about. We're blending our culture into that, whether they like it or not. We are the ones that are making this fly now. It started with Tiger by him just being himself. Tiger don't have the craziest personality, but by him being himself, hey man, it's opening up crazy doors now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Alex, I gotta hear this though. Tell me about you being on a golf course with Wayne Gretzky, Pesci, and Will Smith. Like, how the hell? That's a unique foursome right there. I gotta figure this out. Tell me about this. How
So that
it
goes back to one of your first questions, and I know you two brothers can relate to this also. And what I mean by that is, golf bridges gaps.
That's what I say all the time.
Wait. You know what? I know you want me on the full shot, but can he put it on the three? Because I want to see you guys' faces when I tell this story. I'm a real comedian. Like, that'd be like me talking to the wall and just trust me, man. There's 1,000 people on the other side. No, I want to see y'all faces. Okay, is that okay?
For the audience, just for the audience listeners, he talked to the wall for 2 seconds. Okay, go ahead.
And I'm not trying to produce a show. I'm just telling you, right? I like seeing your face. All right. So golf bridges gaps. Y'all both know that, right? I know both of you, Doug and Will, there's been foursomes that you've been in, and you're to yourself, if they only knew where I came from, this wasn't supposed to happen. Like, how the hell did I end up here? But and right when you say that, you thank God and go, I must have been doing something right. I must be doing something right if I am at the table right now. I don't care whether I'm serving the biscuits or I'm here talking with these guys and we're all talking. The bottom line is I'm here, right?
Absolutely.
So it's crazy how that happened. Will just hit me up one day. It was like, yo, like he would do a lot of times, last minute, yo, we 10 off in the morning. Can you cut? Can you? I'm like, what time is the tea time? 7:13. I'm like, that's in 20 minutes, bro. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You tell me don't go to bed with my wife to show up to play golf with you guys.
I just want you to prove your love, dog. I want you to prove your love. That's all.
And then after all that, I go, all right, I'll be there.
It's like, you're not going to pull up.
All right, let me go find an outfit, right? So long story short, I get there. I'm like, so who we playing with? This is some of the guys. He was at Sherwood. And he's like, I get to the tee. I'm like, the guys? Okay, that's Joe Pesci. That's Wayne Gretzky. The foursome is Will Smith, Wayne Gretzky, Joe Pesci, and little old Inglewoods, right?
What course?
Sherwood, man.
Sherwood. I hear it. All right.
Right.
I got wind in background.
Like I said, that's a whole nother story of how Will got me into golf, and I actually learned how to play on Sherwood. Like the last place on the planet you would think you'd learn how to play. My first time, it was there. But long story short, we're on the first tee, and Joe Pesci goes, yeah, so Will, can your guy play? And Will was like, yeah, he can play. He's a comedian. He's silly, but the dude can play, right?
Oh.
He's like, so what's his handicap? I'm like, Joe Pesci's already talking mess to me, right? He's like, he's like a 12, 13. He's like, oh, okay, he can play with this, right? And then Wayne Gretzky goes, so Will, is he in on our game? And Will was like, I don't know, ask him. And I'm like, Wayne, I'm right here. You can ask me, right? And Wayne was like, cool, we're just playing 5 a hole. And I was like, that's nothing. I'm in. Will goes, 5 a hole. That's $500 a hole. I was like, Wayne, let me tell you something. I'm one of y'all, but I'm not one of y'all. Okay. Okay. See, I'm just his friend, but I don't have that kind of money. I could be y'all caddy. I can help collect the money. I will tell you if a putt's left or right, but no, I'm just here so I don't get fined. So instantly they started laughing. So we got that out, that I'm a comedian, I'm funny. And it was my way of saying, hell to the no, I'm not playing $500 a hole with you. I can't do that, right? So out of nowhere, so let's just say like the 8th or 9th hole, Joe Pesci, I'm having him laughing and everything, and I'm playing all right. But Joe Pesci goes, okay, you're not the only funny guy. I got a funny story. I was like, all right, well, tell us a funny story. So a week before we played at Sherwood, Joe Pesci brought Jack Nicholson out to Sherwood because he's a member there, right? And he goes, yeah, man, Jack loved the course. He loved it so much that the next day, Jack Nicholson showed up to Sherwood by himself on the first tee, thinking because he's Jack Nicholson, he can just go out and play, right? How about the marshals come over and they're like, hello, Mr. Nicholson. Good morning. Welcome to Sherwood. But what member are you playing with today? Right? And Jack was like, I'm not playing with a member. He's like, okay, with all due respect, you can't tee off here unless you're a member or unless you're the guest of a member. Jack goes, well, how much is a membership? And at that time, $275,000. Jack drops the club, walks into the pro club. Into the pro shop, writes a personal check for $275,000, comes back to the tee box and says, "Now beat it. You're bothering the members."
Oh, come on, man.
Nice.
Come on. You know, Alex, it's something
Is that
crazy.
a gangster story? Is that a gangster golf story?
That's dropping the mic.
It don't.
Let's drop the mic. So
That's like, here, just take the money. But it's also goes to show you how exclusionary golf is, because who can do that, right?
exactly.
It's an ego play. Like, I don't want to leave because you're embarrassing me, but here's $275,000. Shut the hell up, and I'm gonna go play this golf.
Exactly.
Like,
and I'm not even going to go through the
flex.
process because by the grace of God, I'm now a member of Sherwood, right? So,
Amen.
Thank you. I would have never in a billion years thought that this place where I played with Will Smith for years and tons of celebrity tournaments, I never in a billion years would have thought one day this kid from South Central LA would end up being a member at one of the most prestigious country clubs in America. So I've been a member almost 2 years now. So it's just
Well, I
crazy
can't
how
wait
the world,
until you take the boy from Kentucky out to Sherwood Country Club so I can experience
I can't wait.
what you're saying.
But y'all pros. So I know y'all done played everywhere.
I did that one time too, Alex. I wrote a membership check on the first tee. I knew it was gonna bounce, but I just want to know how many holes I can get in before they realize it. I was like 8 under through like 12, and I got up out of there.
You are hilarious.
Now, Alex, I do want to talk about something I find interesting, because you and Sam Jackson have played golf together a couple times.
A lot, yeah.
Two or three times
Over the years,
Now,
yeah.
Yeah, and I read or watched something that you were doing online, and I found it to be really, really impactful, because you were playing golf with Sam Jackson and you said you was about to quit comedy. You said that you was about to be done with it. And I'm sure a lot of mini tour players and people that chase their dreams in general get to a point of chasing where they get up against that wall and they need some advice. Tell me about Sam's advice in that scenario, and tell me what it meant to you, and what advice do you have for people that are starting to approach that wall when they're chasing their dreams?
I hate to sound cliche, but literally in a nutshell, it's that never give up moment. It's that you didn't come this far to give up moment. And I always, Sam is like my spiritual advisor. I always call him my spiritual advisor. And I was like, yo, man, it's like, it's not paying the way I wanted it to. I was like, all this hard work. Why am I not this guy? Why am I not that guy? Why is that guy that I started before him? Why is he further along? And Sam was like, let me tell you something, brother. I could have gave up a long time ago. He said, work gets you work. He said, man, I don't say no to nothing. And what's so funny, when he said that, and then just to show you how far back he told me this story, it's like when Google first came out, right? I went home on the verge of tears and looked at his kind of like his IMDb. Kind of in your head from people might go, I know Alex did 10, 15 movies, but let me just see if there's some stuff that I didn't see. When I saw that dude has done over 100 movies, it hit me off of what he just told me. He goes, I don't say no to nothing, and I stay working, and that leads to other things, right? And it just motivated me. It motivated me. It's kind of like what you were talking on earlier, Douglas, that we kind of skipped over, but I guess I'm going back to it. It made me realize that your relationships is everything. I never claimed you guys to be the funniest comedian. I haven't done as many movies as Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle, but those guys respect me and we're all friends. And it's almost like I always like to say, I always compare myself to Charles Barkley, but not golf. Let me explain myself. Charles Barkley will go down as a Hall of Famer. Charles Barkley will go down as one of the greatest basketball players ever. But he's the dude that never got a ring, right? Went to the All-Star game every year, had his own shoe. He's famous now. That's kind of like me in the entertainment world, where they asked Michael Jordan, who was one of the toughest dudes you ever played against? And I got to say Charles. Who was one of the dudes that you wish he was on your team and it could have made y'all better? I definitely want to say Charles, right? I'm that dude that I have all the accolades, all the superstars that I grew up watching, whether it was Eddie Murphy or the Wayans family or Will Smith or whatever. They all respect me and we're all friends, but I'm the dude that didn't get the ring. But I'm not retired and saying I'm done. I still feel like there's a whole lot more left in the tank. And the beautiful thing about entertainment is you can go way longer than athletes. You're not going to hear about a basketball player lasting 30 years. A football player can't last 25 years. Now, golf is different. You can make millions into the senior tour. You get what I'm saying?
Bernhard Longer just cast a check last week.
Say it again?
Said Bernhard Longer just cast a check last week.
Come on, man. I watch the senior tour like I'm watching the young guys because I love the game that much. I will sit there and I will watch Davis Love and Ernie Els and Fred Couples like they Ernie or Brooks Koepka or Tiger. You get what I'm saying? When you love the game, I was telling my wife the other night, she came in, this is going to really mess you up, and it's going to show y'all how much I love the game of golf. I'm watching the Shell 1965 Open in Venezuela on the Golf Channel the other night, and my wife is like, what are you watching? That looks like that was the 50s. I was like, 65 to be exact. And I love the game so much, I can sit and watch Jack Nicklaus at 18 and Gary Player and Ben Crenshaw 73 Masters like it's today because I'm still looking at the game. I'm going, wow, they were hitting blades different. Out. Look how small that Persimmons Wood driver was. And like, wow, look at the way that the Amen corner is back in 65 as to what it is today. But that just shows how much of a golf fanatic that I am.
Man, that's fantastic, man. I get caught doing that same stuff, watching them old heads play. Because it's like, how the hell did you hit this little ass head? But
right.
Go ahead, Will.
Hey, Alex, you just mentioned kind of playing golf with friends, and I want a true, honest answer.
Uh-oh, here comes Will with this.
Out of Black Hollywood, can you give me the top 5 golfers that we play with every day that we see on a day-to-day basis? I want it from you though. I want it from Inglewood.
First of all, I want somebody freeze Alex's face right now. He looks like the Grinch that stole golf.
Hold on. I want if I get some music behind this, because I want an honest opinion. Because we play with everybody, we know everybody, Alex. I just want to hear it from you first. Because I already got my top 5 from Chris Spencer. I just want to know yours.
Okay. Why everybody Flex is number 1?
Flex Andy.
I don't know if Chris told you because I've played enough with Flex. He could have the coronavirus and shoot a 72. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I slipped the word.
Let it go. Let it fly here. Let it fly beyond the fairway.
This is the Golf Channel, and we have to water our black selves down.
Okay. It's Peacock side. This is Peacock side. Go ahead.
Flex is definitely number 1. I would have to put, believe it or not, Sam Jackson, he can play.
Solid. Play with him. Solid.
You know what I mean? Sam, remember, you guys got to understand, you can't compare our numbers to you guys as pros. You know that, right?
We talk about, but you said Flex can shoot even.
No, but we don't
I've seen
practice
Flex
like
do it.
you guys. We don't practice like you guys. Nobody's on a tour. We're out there just playing. You get what I'm saying? So that's not bad for that. So, Flex, have you played with Buddy Lewis?
I play with Buddy Lewis all the time.
Buddy Lewis can hit a 300 yards.
He does.
But Buddy Lewis can hit a lob wedge and the ball stay in the sky for 7 minutes. Like, dude, how'd you hit a lob wedge 290? Like it almost hit an airplane. Like this dude, Buddy can really play.
And he can still wipe the sweat off his face all while the ball's still in the air.
Yeah.
Like I love Buddy, but he's got big sweat. He just got big sweat.
Yes,
big sweat.
Yes, he does. You would think, but it's crazy. Buddy actually was on the Howard University swim team. Did you know that?
I did know that. Yes.
He actually is a black man that golfed at an HBCU, like some other stuff that So when you see the sweat, I don't know if that's the deep end or him coming off the diving board. I'm not really sure. Okay, you know who else can really, really, really play? Dondre Whitfield.
Dondre can go. He can go. And his wife.
And his wife, Sally. I'm gonna be honest. Out of Black Hollywood women, Sally's definitely number 1.
Uno.
Definitely number 1. So that's
test
Flex,
these waters, Will.
Flex, Dondre, Buddy. You know who else can really, really play? He used to play pro baseball, but I'm just talking about Hollywood dudes. Stephen Bishop.
Stephen Bishop.
I'm so glad you didn't say David Justice because I was about to be like,
no. Because here's the thing.
He played David Justice.
Exactly. I play with I play with the pro athletes, the football players. Now let me tell you why I'm going to say I'm 5th. Okay? Because I love the game. I feel like I am the Black Hollywood ambassador. I love Chris Spencer, love him to death, one of my best friends. But I think if you had to put the love of the sport and the blood, sweat, and tears of this game of us that are not pros, brother, who would I be to not put myself in that? Because I'm me. Let me tell you about me. I'm gonna be Will with you, Will and Doug. 24 years playing. I'm just being straight, transparent, and honest with you. And all them dudes have witnessed it. Anthony, every single one of them, George, every one of them, Don, they all witness.
Drop your accolades.
If I'm not joking and I'm not bull crapping and playing around, I could shoot a 79. I'm not. Nice. I'm not. That's not consistent. I'm gonna be honest with you. 20-something years of playing golf, I've probably only broken. No, not probably. I have broken 80 like 4 or 5 times. So it is not on a regular basis. And I'm just being honest. Before I got married, before I had kids, when I was like those dudes and get out and play 3 times a week, 6 times a month. Yeah, man, I was in the low 80s for us. So
that's solid.
So that's solid for a dude that's just a comedian.
That's solid.
Yeah. Solid. And I love the game, but I always mess around and be joking and laughing and smoking cigars and drinking, and that's my problem.
Just don't do that.
That's where I go wrong. And I could take some skins money with some of the best of them. I really, I'm not lying. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
Well, we appreciate the invitation to Sherwood. Will and I will pull up on you.
Yes.
Here.
We're gonna send you our availabilities. We're gonna send you our availabilities.
I just hope the bus go out that far.
Uber does. Wait. To prove my love of the sport to you guys, Chris will tell you how many people you know, and I know y'all know a whole lot of people. How many people you know threw a hole-in-one party?
Ooh.
I'll wait.
I wouldn't have been invited if you had one.
First of all, if I knew you back then, both y'all would have been invited. Because when I tell you it was flyer and sexier than a Chris Brown and Usher album release party. Chris knows this. Anthony knows this. Flex knows this. Will knows this. They all know. Wait, I need to see y'all faces. I'm sorry. I need to see y'all faces. They all know for years. I'm not even exaggerating. For 14, 15 years, I always told them if I was to ever get a hole-in-one, I'm throwing a party. They would always joke with me. They witnessed a whole lot of birdies. I used to call them hole-in-twos, right? Got a whole lot of hole-in-twos, right? And Chris would always joke with me, like, yeah, right. I'm like, dude, one day, the golf gods are going to bless me, and I'm going to get a hole-in-one. That day came in 2013, 2014. I finally got my hole-in-one. It's this place called the Lakes at El Segundo, 127-yard par 3. I don't care. People to go, that ain't a – hey, bro.
It went in.
A hole-in-one is a hole-in-one, whether you were 127 or 203. I'm sorry. God bless me on 127, okay?
Nice.
And Ed had witnesses. Long story short, cut to the flyest brand new hotel in L.A. that year on Hollywood Boulevard, the W. I shut down the outdoor bar. It was sexy. It was about 300 people and about maybe 175 beautiful women, right? And it was a theme party. You cannot walk in the door if you don't have a golf outfit on.
Nice.
There was people that have never golfed in their lives, but they was up in Dick's Sporting Good, up in Roger Dunn, online. Brother, it looked like 3,000 Tiger Woods was up in there. I mean, every dude in there.
Dude had red on, didn't it?
Everybody had red on. It was Sunday. It was Sunday and Friday night.
Brother, it looked like a Masters pre-party. Okay, when I tell you, white people, the managers, I had people coming. Is there a golf course? Is there night golf here? What we've never seen anything like this. So just imagine 300 people celebrating Alex Thomas's hole-in-one party, and we were all together drinking, DJ. It was incredible, and it's a night I'll never ever forget.
So if you have another hole-in-one, I'm gonna
throw another party because I got new friends now, like y'all.
Yeah, this all matters.
Oh, and everybody, brothers was walking in with clubs. Like, imagine leaning against the bar, talking to Jada Pinkett, and you leaning against your driver. Yeah, so it's crazy. I'm averaging 290 off the tee right now. Could I get another Hennessy on the rocks, please? Yes. So, DJ Bismarck, he's the DJ. So I know that day I did what I had to do for the culture. I know white people were like, okay, not only did I know they golf, now they're throwing nighttime parties and soft spikes.
Hey, go ahead. Talk about
I can't even play it right, man. I'm like visualizing this. I'm visualizing this party. I want to come to the next one, damn it. I got 6. So if I would go broke having hole-in-one parties, I can't do it. So I
never had.
Doug,
I never had one.
If you switch your hands, Will, you might have.
I never had one, bro. I've been close.
Hey, you almost had one with me.
I've been close 10 billion times, but I never had
like
one.
Me, Will, you got a whole lot of hole-in-twos.
Got a whole lot of hole-in-twos. Got a little hole-in-twos, but I mean, that's represents my life. So, but yeah, it just never had a hole-in-one.
Doug, you really have had 6?
6,
yeah.
bro.
How old were you? Did you start at birth?
Yeah, about an hour and a half after. I've been playing since I was 4 years old, 36. I'm 32 years into the game. I got my first hole-in-one in 1996.
So you actually know how to do it. Like,
no.
Here's what
you know.
No,
okay.
you just got to play a lot of golf. You got to play a lot of golf because you get 4 chances. You keep doing that anyway. I've been blessed. I've hit a couple good shots. Alex, I gotta ask you. It's an important moment right now.
Okay.
We end our show. We ask every guest. You pull it up to the course. You got 4 rappers. You're gonna play a 5-ball. You got 4 rappers. I don't care dead or alive. I don't care if they play golf or not. I don't care what era they're from. Doesn't matter. Who you showing up to the course with? Rap foursome right here beyond the fairway.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and I wish I had the picture. I wish I had known you were gonna ask me that question.
If you would, so you ain't watched the show? That's what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
I watched it. No, but now I just thought about it. I just thought about something you told me earlier. You also did tell me that we're doing this today, but it's not going to air till next week.
It airs this week.
This week. So when we get off the line, I'm going to email you guys a picture because I actually made a T-shirt of who that foursome would be.
Stop it.
I really did. Like literally, when we get off the line, I'm going to forward it to you guys so you see I'm not bull crapping around. You know who that foursome would be?
I want to know. Rap foursome right here. Here we go.
Biggie, Pac, Eazy-E, Nipsey Hussle.
That would definitely shut the course down.
And that was a 8:13 tee time at Pebble Beach. Y'all look at me. No, so now I gotta explain. I'll give you the quick explanation.
What?
I just want to see you guys' heads. So the joke was, I actually was very fortunate. It kind of shows how long I've been in the game because I was actually friends with all 4 of those guys.
Nice.
And I got a story for each one of them, right? So you know I'm not bull crapping around. But I always said none of those dudes play golf. But if they did, that's a foursome I would have loved to either witness, be a part of, or just walk with him that day.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Talking about interesting and 4 different walks of life. Pac,
unstrapped too.
Biggie,
Unstrapped. They
have a 9mm and a 9 iron on them. That's just something you couldn't stop. You know what I mean? They gonna have that piece on them. But here at Pebble Beach, you're about to tee off. Beautiful ocean hitting the rocks behind you. It's just like I just would have loved to see that. 4 dudes that they don't really know much about the game. Biggie would have been teeing off in some Timbs. You know what I mean? Pac would have had his Detroit Red Wings jersey on. Eazy-E would have been in his SA, his Mexican East LA, a Compton type joint. And of course, Nipsey would have been in all Puma, you know what I mean? With the Crenshaw hat on, with Drake
braided up. The thing about it, golf would have been so powerful, it wouldn't have been about no red and blue. Like it would have been no matter what you do and where you are in life, people respect the traditions of the game of golf.
It's a gentleman's game. It's a gentleman's game. It's an honesty game. It's Absolutely. A game where like you get to find out about people. It's like you're hanging out with somebody for 4 hours, you guys, right?
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, like I was talking about the foursome earlier with Wayne Gretzky, Joe Pesci, and all that. But if you put our bank accounts together, like those 4 people, Joe Pesci, Wayne Gretzky, Will Smith, Alex Thomas, chances are I have the least amount of money out of all those, right?
No,
Whether I had 400 in the bank, Joe Pesci 400,000, let's say Will 4 million, and let's say Wayne Gretzky 40 million. Guess what? None of that mattered for 4 hours.
I love that.
We're
I
all
tell
trying to
people,
hit
golf-
this white ball 175 yards and get into that little hole. It doesn't matter outside
I
of
tell
here.
people, golf is the only arena where you can take a CEO, a drug dealer, a drug addict,
Custodian.
and a custodian, and you can put them together for 4 hours, and they can just go out and vibe, have a good time. Name me another atmosphere where that could happen, and you can't do it. I promise you. Alex Thomas, we appreciate you going beyond the fairway right here, Golf Channel, NBC Sports, with Will and myself, man. Thank you so much, my G.
I want to say I appreciate what you guys are doing. This is so dope for golf. It's dope for the culture. I've been following you guys. I've seen what you're doing. And as a collaborative, this narrative, and the more people that see this, it's like we're not going to be denied. It's like, hey, man, this is proving it right here. Yeah. We deserve a seat at that table. Eventually, you guys are going to be doing this podcast live from the Masters. Remember, I said it first.
Bro, from your mouth to God's ear, bro. I really appreciate that, man.
Hey, and don't forget to check me and Will out May 18th. We are recording the Funny Don't Stop show with Alex Thomas, man. I'm not funny. Will is, but I'll be in there to keep it on the straight and narrow, man.
Well, you know what our log line at the Funny Don't Stop show, which happens to be my podcast, we say we find the funny in everything. You got to think about it, man. We've been living in this pandemic for the last year and a half now. And in most people's eyes, there's nothing funny. There's nothing to talk about. It's just tragedy and horribleness. Like, no, man, I think God put me on this planet some kind of way to help brighten up people's day. And you may be going through a bad day. You may have lost somebody to COVID. You may have lost your job. But guess what, man? You sit on there for an hour and you laugh and you kind of forget about all that. So That's therapeutic to me. And one last thing, I want to make sure, I don't know if you guys have kids. Anybody got kids? That's right. Yours is.
I found it.
How old?
11 months.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot, Douglas. You had a little pandemic baby also.
Well, it was pre-pandemic. We was pregnant before. We found out before. So it's like, everybody having kids now is pandemic baby.
Okay, so my son is 8 months old. My son is 8 months old.
He was pre-pandemic.
Right? So my son was born August 3rd, 2020. Like dead center middle of the pandemic. Like my son was born with a mask on. Okay, that's how. Put it this way, I gotta put a mask on now just so he stop crying. Like he don't know. He's so used to seeing masks around the house. He sees this is a pandemic.
He see your face.
I say that to say, man, I got the #1 new animated series on Netflix right now. It's called Motown Magic. And we are the only Black animated series on Netflix right now. And we're #1 in America. We're #1 in America with Black children 1 to 10 years old. So I said that anybody out there watching, if you got kids between 1 and 10 and they don't know about Motown Magic, you got to check it out. It's executive produced by none other than Mr. Smokey Robinson. And I'm the star of the show. I'm in every episode. I am the car. So right when you go on Netflix, you're going to see a convertible red 1965 Cadillac. And that is me. My character name is Jimmy Mack. I'm like the Uber of the 70s. I took all the kids around Detroit in the 70s to get them around. So definitely check out Motown Magic on Netflix. And, of course, my podcast, The Funny Don't Stop Show.
Man, shout out to Alex Thomas for coming in here, man, going beyond the fairway with Will and myself. Man, that dude, you know what? We could have just had a show. We could have kept that thing going and rolling, Will.
Man, it was gonna get funnier and funnier and funnier. But good thing we will have a chance to continue the funny on his podcast that we're about to do pretty soon. Go ahead and tell them the details, Doug.
Hey, the Funny Don't Stop show, Will and I, May 18th. We're going to be on there, and it's probably going to be unedited, so I can finally cuss and not get beeped.
I know. I know, not getting called to the NBC office all the time. Like,
I'm always getting beeped.
Feel like, why the hell are you getting beeped?
All right, here we go. Will, it's that time. Will, another combo shank of the week right here beyond the fairway. It's going to go to the golf journalist who's written books and articles. He's wrote for Sports Illustrated, golf.com. You name it, the guy's written for. I'm going to call him out right now. Geoff Shackelford. You wrote the wrong article this week, homie. I'm going to tell you why. Geoff failed to realize that how many people love Instagram and influencers. You can't go on the internet and write an article, half-assed article, in my opinion. Call these people C-list celebrities, which is a step up from influencers, so congratulations to everybody that's now C-list celebrity. That's kind of dope. And then actually call people out individually. Called out Kira Dixon. Called out Roger Steele. Called out Jess McAllister. Absolutely disrespectful. And I'm glad that Golf Bald went on there and called his ass out, because what he did was shallow, short-sighted, and he was jealous because he is no longer as relevant as he once was.
Yeah, man. I mean, given in this day and age of 2021, I mean, him talking, you gotta get a beat real quick. Him talking shit with no blue check, that's tough. That's tough.
We don't have a blue check and we talk shit, so I don't.
Well, that's true. But we ain't calling nobody out. Okay, well, we do call people out, but we not. Oh, we do that too. Okay, never mind. But
we don't write it down. No, it's written. We showing love.
We can record and erase.
Exactly. Geoff Shackelford that article was written from a place of hate. He called out Barstool Sports for some stuff. Yo, I even listen to Barstool Sports podcast, man. It's absolutely rude, Geoff. You showed your ass, you showed you're jealous, and you know what? I hope you write an apology piece to all the people that you offended for no reason. Look, media is changing. Look at us. We here. Media is changing, and if the game of golf doesn't evolve and change with it and meet the people where they are like they do via the social media platforms, this game will not grow as it needs to, and it will actually moonwalk like Rickie Fowler up the official World Golf ranking. So, Geoff, you get the Shank of the Week.
He does. I do wish we were there so we can be called a C-list celebrity too, though. But okay, I mean, Shank of the Week goes to Geoff. Damn it, Geoff.
Oh man, hey, we appreciate y'all rocking with us here on Golf Channel, NBC Sports, Beyond the Fairway. Will Lowery, Doug Smith. Hey, follow, listen, subscribe, share it with your homies. You know what to do, man. Hey, till next time, we're gonna bring some people in here. You know we're gonna have some swag. Somebody's gonna come in here and chop it up with us. Until next time, though, we'll holla at you. Hey, pars and birdies.
Man, I want to be a C-list celebrity. Damn.